Okay.
All right, I think we are ready to start. I think I double checked everyone's mics. We're all good. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I am your host, Danny K. With me, as always, my wonderful, my beautiful, one of my co-hosts, Mr. Green Elite. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Danny?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. I cannot complain yet. There's still time.
A little bit earlier. You were complaining, yeah.
We were having a discussion about how you say things that are utterly disgusting and how they make my skin crawl, but that's completely outside the point. We have our other co-host here, the sexy, the powerful Revsven. Padre, how are you doing today?
I was doing okay, but now I'm doing great. God, that was you made me feel in some sort of way, Danny. How are y'all? How's everybody doing?
I'm doing fantastic. We'll see how things go. I'm already seeing someone post in the chat the fucking word I hate. Fucking hate.
What, Flesh Gundam?
I'm just gonna smack a bitch. Our guest this week is the very talented LouMurk. You guys probably know him from some of the music that you hear here on the podcast. Lou, you obviously do music, but what else do you guys do? Or what else do you do? You guys. I'm talking like you're in the plural. Yeah. He does so many things that you have to assume he has a team.
Yeah, I do everything myself. You know, I'm my own team, but I'm still looking for someone like an intern or something. So if you want an intern for me, y'all send me an email. But I'm LouMurk, Dream, I have a clothing brand, Live in Fear. That's LIVENFEAR. There's no in there. It's just an N, right? I also do a music production. I have a sound that's the name's Perk Cobain, so it's Perk PERC _ Cobain, Perk Cobain. I also have also do music videos for like talent from Australia, America, and Canada, all that stuff. And all my Toronto boys. Shouts out to everyone in the 6, you know. Hey, yo, fam. Hey, what's up? Bomb in the group.
Real quick, Lou, you are cutting in and out pretty hardcore there.
Oh shit, for real? Damn, my bad.
Yeah.
What is going on with my internet? I don't know.
Do you want to maybe swap to
I'll turn the cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'll turn the audio on. And now everything's okay. But yeah, hopefully you guys heard everything I said. If not, I do that stuff.
Yeah, so music.
Can we give credit where credit's due real quick? I'm sorry to interrupt, but that dude just plugged himself like an absolute champion.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is usually, oh, well, I mean, I guess I do that. And he was like, nah, I do all of this and you're going to like it.
I just put my dick on the table, you feel me? And then you just will see it. And then if you like it, you like it. You don't, put it back in. You feel me? But yeah. I'm everything. Got confidence.
So real quick, just all the places that people can find everything you do one more time, just in case people didn't hear it for the first time.
All right, so my name LouMurk. I have a Twitch channel, LouMurk. I also have an Instagram, LouMurk. I also have a Twitter, LouMurk. I also do music videos, and I do motion graphics. I do all that stuff. I also have a SoundCloud that's under the name Perk Cobain, PERC _ Cobain, like Kurt Cobain. I also have a clothing brand called Live in Fear. That's LIVENFEAR. All that stuff. Go check it out. It's on my Twitch as well. Go click in the description. All that stuff, all that jazz. If you want, if you feel me, you feel me. If you don't, you don't. You smell me. Hey.
So make sure you guys check him out all at those locations. Before we start the show, I just really want to say thank you guys. This was an amazing week for the podcast. I don't like talking about numbers, especially in the podcast. I feel like it's kind of gaudy, but you guys fucking killed it. Thank you so much for everyone that watched and listened. If you guys missed any part of the show, make sure you guys find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. This month is, of course, our 2-year anniversary. We want to thank everyone for helping us make it to 2 years. Make sure that you guys, if you're interested in merch, that you guys go on ahead and get the merch. We have an exclusive 2-year anniversary design for t-shirts, mugs, stickers, face mask, a tote bag, and I think a few other items. So check it out there. We're also doing a lot of giveaways. And I think right now we could probably go to the question of the month and how you guys can enter for the live stream. So, question of the week. Question of the week this week is, what game series have you stayed with the longest? What game series have you stayed with the longest? In the comments of this YouTube video, if you guys are watching on YouTube, answer that question and you'll be automatically entered to win a free game, which will the winner will be announced next week. Mr. Greenleaf, what are they entering to win?
I'm sorry, did you say for the live channel?
For the question of the week.
Oh, question of the week for this week is going to be Darksiders Remastered. The first Darksiders Remastered. And then for the live show, we're going to go ahead and give away Darksiders 2, the definitive edition. I can never say it right. Definitive. Definitive.
I live in
That's
a scene.
Exactly. So yeah, we're going to keep the theme with the Darksiders for this week.
Yes. And then if you are interested in winning the definitive edition, I fucked myself up on it now. Do !Opalaka. Keyword picked out by our man LouMurk here. And I think right now it's time to draw the winner of last week. How's that sound?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right. And I'm going to hit shuffle. Here, let me click to spin. There it goes. Ooh, this one has sound effects.
I swear to God, if it isn't who I want it to be, I'm going to be very upset.
Congratulations to TTV Biggs. This thing has so many sound effects on it. TTV Biggs, we will go on ahead and send you that key. Congratulations on winning. Oh, things got all sorts of messed up here. Hold on. 1 second.
Pardon us while we have some technical difficulties in live.
Lou, did you mean to turn your cam back on? I cannot hear you if you're speaking.
Oh damn. Did I miss it? Oh no. Oh damn. Oh no.
Oh, we good?
Yeah.
All right, I can hear you. And remind Mr. Biggs what he won, Mr. Green Elite.
Biggs has won the Darksiders Remastered. The Darksiders 1. You still have a chance to win that Darksiders 2 as well.
Yes.
For the show today. So make sure you do that !Opalaka. Hit it up. Everyone join in. Increase the odds and may the odds be ever in your favor. Please don't sue me, Universal or whoever made that movie.
Also, just a quick reminder that we are giving away a $20 Steam gift card at the end of this month. The more times you guys enter to win a game, the more times you'll be entered to win that. So please do enjoy that. With that said,
Annie? Should we specify? Should they be cap locked in the live show?
Let me see here. It actually does not matter. It seems that people are okay. If you want to make sure that you're in, do cap locks, all cap locks, just to make sure that you're in. But I think we are ready to start the show and actually get into some topics here. All right. So Padre, you have played a game called Across the Grooves. Go on ahead and tell us about it.
All right. Ooh, this was a good one. I know you were there for a short bit of it. So this game, I'll preface it with, is an interactive graphic novel, like a visual novel style game, that's based around music. The premise of the game is that you play this woman named Alice, and you're currently I'm going to try to I'm like tiptoeing around trying to make sure I avoid any spoilers, because I do highly recommend this game if you're into visual novels. Probably not the most exciting to stream, just because with it being just a choice-based visual novel, kind of makes it, your audience would have to be into that kind of thing to stream it. So I highly recommend playing it off stream, at least that way you can get into the story. But the premise is you play Alice and you're engaged to this guy named Jean-Baptiste. It was produced in France. You could tell because like there's some broken English in it. And whenever you hear the music, you can tell that there's a French accent with the music, but it is in English. Jean-Baptiste is your fiance. You're talking about how you met him and everything. And then all of a sudden you get this record in the mail. And this record has a single track on it, no labels, no nothing. The backside's just mirrors, so there's no B-side. And you listen to it. And whenever you do, it teleports you back in time to the night that your old boyfriend, Ulysses, who you were madly in love with, left you. And at that point, you start making decisions, and every little decision can actually alter your entire gameplay. It can alter the entire outcome of the story. I myself chose to stay away from the bar and pursue going after Ulysses to find out what happened. Come back to the present, no longer engaged to Jean-Baptiste, and none of the people you know even know who he is. So it's like there's a lot of little decisions that are made throughout that can alter the entire story, and it was really cool. It's based a lot in music, and like I said, a lot in French, but they do a lot of like kind of educational stuff on kind of unusual activities, because you come to find out that the record was actually, everybody who listens to it hears something different. And it was originally produced by Robert Johnson, the old blues musician in the 1920s who sold the soul to the devil at the crossroads. And then there's some things involving Aleister Crowley that get thrown in there, and you actually learn about these things. You learn about Sun Records and the history of them and all of this stuff. It's super good if you're into music and like the unusual at all. Must recommend this game. Again, if like the visual novel style is not your cup of tea, I probably couldn't recommend it. It plays like a dating sim, essentially a dating sim, but not near as funny. There are a couple of moments in it that are kind of funny, but it's good. If you're watching this on YouTube or seeing this on the live stream, you'll see there are 4 icons at the top of the preview that we have on the screen. Those little icons, every time you make a choice, 1 or 2 of them will light up, and that kind of tells you what path you're going down. And we kind of put 2 and 2 together. It doesn't tell you necessarily, but if you look on the left, there's a spiral and a lightning bolt. If you pick one and you see the spiral, you're delving into a topic a little bit more, and the lightning bolt moves the story along. And then the other side between the flower and the skull seem to be more karma related for your character and how it's going to play out. So like I said, lots of decisions to be made. I don't know how many total outcomes there can be made, but I plan on going back and finding out. May play it on stream again, especially if I can get my internet up to where I can stream without having to worry about the frame drops, because that honestly, I'll say, for me, took a little bit away from the storyline of the game, because I was focusing a lot on my bit rate, my frames and everything, and I was it kind of pulled me away, but nothing about the game drove me away. It was actually really entrancing, and there were a lot of people that were coming by the stream that were loving the background noise. They were loving the music that was involved. There was a lot that a lot of people were enjoying about it. So yeah, I would say it's a definite recommend. Obviously, with it being a visual novel, you don't have to be running this on some kind of high-end PC. There's not a lot of animations that are done. You can run it on a potato. But yeah, if you're into narrative-driven stories, full disclosure, this game was given to me by an agency that that just emailed me out of the blue and said, "Hey, we see your content. We think this might be your cup of tea. Would you be willing to try it?" And I agreed to it. I don't know if that's something I have to disclose, but I felt like it was at least, what's the word? Good. We'll just say it was a good idea to do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you disclosing that.
Yeah. So once again, highly recommend. I honestly didn't even look at the price myself yet, because of the fact that, like I said, since I already owned it, I didn't look, but I can pull that real quick. One thing that really stood out to me that I'll talk about while I'm pulling the price is the actual like art style. You can tell it's like
price up, by the way.
Okay, yeah, it's a $12.99. It looks like right now.
Yeah.
Due to replayability alone, that is a perfectly fair, more than fair price, in my opinion. Just because you have so much replayability in this. But if you look at the art style, it's done almost like a comic book / graphic novel. But you actually, like I said, you even make decisions during the music, because it sings the lyrics of the songs, and you can make the decisions in that on the fly, and it'll alter the music, which in turn alters the past. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really want to disclose about Across the Grooves, because I want people to play this game. It's one that I do highly recommend just because of how good and solid everything in it was.
Awesome. So you mentioned, like, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I see somebody in chat asking a pretty good question. How long was the playthrough? Now, see, I made a lot of quick fire decisions. After the first couple of chapters, when I started seeing the frame drops, I was trying to kind of rush through the game. So I was making decisions based on what I think would speed me through the game, and in that alone, it took me about 4.5 to 5 hours to complete. But if you go in and you actually listen to all of the stories, then it can probably expand upwards of 8 to 9 hours on a single playthrough. But you will get different stories if you play through again and make a couple of different decisions. You'll meet people you didn't even meet in the first playthrough. So yeah, it took me about 5 hours to get through my first playthrough, but it could go much, much further.
Yeah. So with this, I'm actually looking at it right now to see what platforms it's on. It's available on Nintendo Switch, Microsoft Windows, Linux, Mac OS, Macintosh operating systems. This seems like it would actually be a really good fit for mobile. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, because like I said, I mean, everything is just click. Like I played the whole game with nothing but my mouse, because you don't, aside from, you don't type in anything. You literally, everything is just point and click. So yeah, I could easily see it being on mobile.
Awesome. From what you said, in terms of how long the game is for the price, I think that sounds pretty good. $13 USD. For what'd you say, like 5 hours?
Yeah, I played 5 hours on my one playthrough, but like I said, with you being able to dive further into stories that I didn't dive into, and also alter stories to play through again, I mean, you could probably get, I would say, easily 20, 30 hours of gameplay out of it before you start running into repeats of your choices.
That is, I mean, that's to me, that seems like a solid price. Mr. Green, thoughts, questions, opinions?
No, I watched a few clips of one. Rev was trying to play. Like, the art style is very fantastic. It looks really nice. But for questions, no. I mean, it looks really nice. That's all I can really say. Like, I didn't stick around for much of it, just because it was a busy day. But hell yeah, I enjoyed what I saw. It looks really depressing. Like, is it like?
No, it's kind of like it's got what feels kind of like a somber tone to it, but it's not. Like, it's not like, unless you hit some points that make, like, your choices make it that way. I mean, it's not. It's more like you're learning and informative. It's just got kind of like the music and everything kind of has just like a little bit of a somber tone to it without actually being like sad and depressing. So yeah, because I noticed that too.
So you walk into it. If you walk into it like you're a real life sad boy, you're gonna make that game a real tearjerker.
You can, for sure.
Okay. Danny, stay away from the game.
I was just gonna say, I feel like this is a personal attack. Lou, any thoughts, questions, opinions that you want to get out there on this game?
Nah, the game looks like a art piece, man. It looks like you can find that at the Louvre or something. Like, it looks cool. I'll try it out, but like, I'm not one of those type of people who like play like story-based games. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to preface it with, it's like, if you're into your visual novel dating sim type of thing, like if you like those decision-based, just kind of like point and click games, then it would be more for you. But I know personally that, Green probably wouldn't be as interested in it as I am, because Green plays a lot of multiplayers, a lot of first-person shooters, horror games.
However, Mrs. Green would love it.
There you go. So would Mrs. Rev. She would love this game. I'm actually probably going to get it for her on her Switch, because I think, one, I don't let anybody back here, because this is my no square. Nobody comes to my no square.
Now I can't tell her about it, because then I'll have to buy a Switch.
Exactly. Yeah, what you should do anyways. Hashtag not sponsored by Nintendo.
Hashtag I wish. Yeah, it's got a really appealing art style to it. I was looking at kind of it's got almost a almost like a color pencil, maybe pastel kind of aesthetic to it. That
Right,
looks
yeah,
really
it's
nice. It looks very
like drawn
French
up almost
too.
like a painting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you can tell it is because there are like the game starts in Bordeaux, France, and you end up in Paris for a while. And like I said, you could tell that it was originally done in France because like it'll say at certain points, you know, you'll hear the inner monologue of your character talking about how like they do speak, this person speaks French but with a heavy accent, and then it just proceeds to be dialogue in English because they just, I'm assuming, transferred it over from French to English. And but it's like something you would have to look for, like, because I was sitting there looking like, all right, where am I going to be able to see that this was clearly not originally in English? And there were only a couple of spots. It wasn't anything major, but yeah, you could tell like the whole atmosphere, the music, the style, everything just kind of felt like it had that French aesthetic to it. It was pleasant. It was lovely. I loved. I mean, I loved playing it.
Yeah. I just had one more question, which is, you mentioned Aleister Crowley is in this game. I mean, is there just a full-on orgy somewhere?
No, he is mentioned in it, but it was like he was mentioned as part of this guy, the guy who mailed you the record. He was doing research into occultism and stuff, and then they actually kind of did, they just kind of gave a little brief history lesson about who Aleister Crowley was, and it was very accurate. And I knew this guy. Like, it was funny because there was like the little subtle jab at the fact that the guy who was telling you all this about these occultists and everything was wearing a Freemason pin on his lapel. It was like, it was low key. It wasn't pointed out. It never even got mentioned that he was a Freemason, but it was just ironic, like the whole Illuminati conspiracy thing with the Freemasons. And then he was the one giving you the history lesson on Aleister Crowley. Was really interesting.
So, just side note, I met my first Freemason this week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was helping a friend move, and one of his friends, who I've actually, I made a joke to this guy that we should start a moving company together because he and I helped another friend of ours move. We just have some mutual friends, and he has a Freemason tattoo on his wrist. I'm like, "You Mason?" He goes, "Yeah." So I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna start giving you side eye." He goes, "It's just a fraternity." I'm like, "Or is it?"
And I didn't realize that Freemasons were not just like super common everywhere else. We have a massive Masonic temple here in McAllister, Oklahoma. And my uncle and my great grandfather were both members, and I've worked with several. You always see they have the big ring. The big ring with the the square compass and G in the middle. There's just Freemasons everywhere here, and I didn't realize until like recently that unless you like live in a town where there's like a temple, it's not as common to meet one, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm just now being told by my dad in the chat that one of my uncles is Mason. We do have a temple.
Fraternity. It's secret.
Yeah, there's a few temples around here. But like, if you ask one of them like what it is, they'll be like, "Oh, it's just a fraternity." If you ask Google, satanic cult.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We'll meet in the middle ground. They're a satanic fraternity.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I don't even know what a Freemason is.
Love you, Dave.
It's literally just.
Oh, they're the Satanists that built this country.
Apparently.
Oh, okay.
If you ask Google.
Well, and if you ask Nicolas Cage, they're the people who hid a massive amount of treasure underneath Washington, D.C.
Yeah, the Illuminati.
The most famous.
That sounds like a good. Yeah, Illuminati sounds like a good ice cream flavor. I'll try that.
Jim Carrey thought of the Illuminati. Their symbol is this, and it's called the all-speaking tongue. Instead of the all-seeing eye. Yeah, Jim Carrey talked about it on David Letterman once.
Oh, really?
So we have another game that you played.
Yes. Completely different direction. Let's go the other way.
Let me get this train back on the tracks, and I'm sorry for derailing us in the first place. Neko Ghost Jump review. Let's go for it.
Okay, so Neko Ghost Jump was a completely different type of story, or the type of game. So I recently, again, it was a game that was it was given to me, but it was done through Keymailer. It's developed and published by Burgos Games, and it's a 2D, 3D puzzle platformer. So when I say 2D, 3D, this is where it gets a little crazy compared to like other platformers. You actually have to switch your perspectives to solve puzzles from 2D to 3D. So like you'll start out in like the side scroller Mario format, but you'll hit a puzzle and you'll actually have to switch to 3D where you're third person viewing over your character's shoulder. It's really, really cool. And in the base, I mean, basically it's set on this planet called Neko World. It gets invaded by space dog pirates. And your character Neko Man is getting married, and your wife, I don't think you actually finished the wedding. So your fiance still at that point gets kidnapped. Now, I got to try this game at DreamHack Anaheim and also at PAX South. So it's a game I was keeping my eye on for a while, and I got to see some really, really good improvements between the two. So the foundation of the actual gameplay is based on the idea from getting from point A to point B as fast as possible on each level. It's actually like a speedrunner's paradise because every level actually comes with a leaderboard. Now, the thing is, it's not just getting from point A to point B because you also have to defeat enemies, which give you coins. You can collect coins as you go, and if you collect coins, it shaves time off of your leaderboard tally. So like if you get through the level in 40 seconds but you collected so many coins, it could make it look like you did the level in 4 seconds. Now the whole idea of the ghost aspect in the title of the game is because in combat you can actually just drop dead. And I think this has something to do with you being a cat. I don't know. But you drop dead and your spirit comes out. And your spirit's got an actual sword. And you beat the shit out of these villains while they're trying to attack your dead body. And then you beat them. And then whenever you switch back, you just go back into your body. Which actually can, like, one of the things that I was doing myself was I would go to ghost form, jump to the next platform to fight something. And if I ended up falling off, I could switch back and I would be safely back over on the other side. Now, again, with the speedrunning aspect of it, that you can't be so tedious with it. You have to try to be as quick as possible. But I will say this, it's actually really cool that you don't have to focus on that leaderboard. If you just want to play the story, get through it, and go at your own pace, you can. There's no like time limits or anything on anything. It's just you have the two different aspects, the casual and the competitive speedrunning aspect of the game. The story itself is adorable. You play Neko Man, he's this little cat. And you can customize them in a shitload of different ways. Sorry about my language. I just keep slipping up and saying the S word. You can, you have a whole plethora of customization with him. And side note, one of my favorite parts was like every time you jump or swing, he's like mew mew mew. It's like super adorable. But anyways, the structure of the levels themselves are set up in like an old school Mario kind of way, where you start on a level, you get through it, you go to the next one, and then at the end of that particular world, you fight a boss. Then you move on to the next world. And the bosses were especially difficult because it required you to switch perspectives quite a bit to be able to actually beat the bosses, because they would send minions up, and if you were in your 2D perspective, when they're set up this certain way, you can't attack them, so you'd have to switch back while they're also flinging obstacles at you. It was difficult, but it's also part of the speedrunning aspect if you want to beat the score. If you're not too concerned about that, you can take your time, probably be a little bit easier about it. One thing I will say though, for as cutesy as this game is, it does kind of run a little hefty on your PC for what it is. So like the processor's not that big of a deal. I mean, they recommend an i5 9600K or a Ryzen 5 3600X, 16 gigs of RAM, a 1060 or 5600 XT or higher graphics card, and 5 gigs of space. So that's a little hefty in my opinion for that game. There is no price set yet because it's still in early access. You can add it to your Steam wish list, but they are going to be bringing it to PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, PS5, Switch. It's going to be rated E for everyone. They do have a Kickstarter campaign that has, as of recording of this, 10 days. It's either 10 or 9 days left, and I think they're about halfway done. There are some really neat perks that come along with the Kickstarter campaign. Not necessarily promoting the Kickstarter, just letting you know that it's out there if it's something you're interested in. But yeah, it was a cute little platformer. I mean, I'm big into platformers, indie games. Like that's where my love for indie games started, was with those platformer styles. But the fact that it institutes the speedrunning aspect into it for you is kind of interesting, because if you want to speedrun on it, you don't necessarily have to sit there and keep time on your own, because it keeps time for you. So yeah, big fan of it. Ran real smooth for still being in beta and not even being released yet. Ran super smooth, but I would hope it would, for as much as it pulls from your rig for being so not, flashy. It's not a flashy game at all, which was weird. But yeah, I like it. I liked it a lot. definitely. I think the tentative release right now is sitting in August. We're going to see where that ends up, but as of right now, it is still listed as TBD on release dates.
Excellent. Yeah, I was watching the gameplay there. It seems fun. It seems interesting. It's definitely not one of those things I would probably play because I don't like platforming that much. Especially like 2D platformers, I really don't particularly care for. The recommended specs thing, that's a little strange to me. How hefty that is for what that looks like. I don't know, Green, what do you think? Were you able to catch any gameplay there?
I was not. I mean, I'm not huge into platformers as well, so the premise sounds really nice. Anything with cute cats and cute sounds is probably not in my alley either. But it sounds like a cool premise, especially with like the going separate from the body, or however you said it. I don't.
Yeah, the separating your
your soul just pops out of your dead body.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick question for you, because you said the price is TBD, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the minimum amount that you can get on the Kickstarter?
You know what? Honestly, I haven't looked at the Kickstarter itself in a while. I can pull those. I can pull that real quick though. I'm not too far away from it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what the minimum amount is to get a copy of the game.
Right.
Just to me, that would tell me.
The demo itself is free, by the way. If you do want to just give it a try before you get too involved in it, there is, there is a demo. So let's see here. You can get a digital copy of the game on a platform of your choice for a $15 pledge, but you also get the Kickstarter exclusive digital thing. You get a Discord backer title, and you actually get your name in the comments or in the credits of the game. So you get the game itself on PC or console, and then you get the other little things there. And it's 96 backers on that one. So yeah, I mean, $15 I think is fine for that game for what I played of it, because it's a lengthy game. Like I ended up playing it for a few hours and still have no idea how far from the end I really am. So that's not bad at all, really.
Cool. Lou, any thoughts, opinions, questions you want to get out there?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Super Paper Mario to me. I don't know if you guys like ever played that game, but it's like the concept is kind of the same, where like in Super Paper Mario, it's a platformer. It's not really like an RPG, but like you can turn from 2D to 3D, and that aspect is like it's a super fun aspect. I don't think they really got into it in that like game, but seeing this, they probably, I don't know if they did or not, like went in like super lengthy like depth with that 2D 3D switch. But hey, it looks cool as heck. I don't know if I can cuss or not. Can I cuss or?
Fuck yeah.
Oh shit! Hey, so yeah, I fucks with it. I fucks with it heavy. I fucks with it heavy. I fucks with platformers, man. That's my bread and butter. Back in the day, I don't know about now. I can't really jump and do that. That stuff is way too hard for me now.
But I will say this: you're not the first person to say that. When I was playing it on stream, I had several people say that it had that Super Paper Mario feel to it.
Yeah,
so mentioning that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good comparison. Like if they can, like, I don't know if it's done or not, but if it's like close to done, I'm about to get that. I'm probably gonna pledge that 15 like today or tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like the whole. I mean, they do go heavy on the idea of you having to switch back and forth. I mean, it is a requirement to clear some of these puzzles to do the switching back and forth, and it can get difficult at times. Like, I mean super difficult. But
yeah.
Like it's crazy though, because I don't know if people like me who, whenever you start seeing patterns in games, you start figuring them out and get faster and faster and faster. I played the first level, like literally the prologue level, like 15-20 times, trying to just break into the top 50 on the speedrun leaderboard on it. And once you start figuring out the patterns and how to get the coins faster and everything, it becomes just like snap, 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 quick. It's
pretty
cool.
That's like the best part about speedrunning. I don't speedrun that much, but there's like a couple games of speedrun, and like once you get that pattern going, ooh, you can go
Yeah.
fast. Also, Elliot said, looks like that Zelda game that was on the 3DS. Yo, that game was so sick too. Yo, I love that game. It's like you switch from 2D to 3D. I don't know why Nintendo was into that like in the 2000s, but they were into it.
It's definitely an interesting concept to change up, to change things up to where you can actually, not be in that same mold of every platformer. It gives you that little bit of difference to make, and I mean, it adds a whole new depth of difficulty, especially if you're trying to go faster. Because I mean, I'm in the same boat about speedrunning. I'm not a huge speedrunner, but when it comes to Cuphead, I speedrun Cuphead and I speedrun Undertale, and so the intrigue of speedrunning capabilities is always there for me.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna sidetrack this a bit, but I feel like that's the bread and butter of like a lot of indies now, is just going into that speedrun category, because you can break through and find a community that way. So might as well, right? So I feel like that's what this game is gonna go for. It's just like that speedrunning like market, and then try and grow a bigger community through that, which will be cool.
I could definitely see it doing that too, for sure.
Yeah.
I think, into your point there, Lou, about a lot of indies getting like into speedrunning. A lot of indies also have like really technical gameplay. Like platforming is like really technical.
Yeah.
And you have to have some skill at it, and you only get better with time. So that makes a lot of sense, that it's like, oh yeah, no, I have this super technical gameplay that's, a little difficult, and having people challenge themselves and challenge each other on how fast they can complete these levels, it works out really well for indie devs, for sure. I think you made a brilliant point there.
Yeah, because another game that I think I actually did cover as well, Celeste. I don't know if I actually ever got to cover Celeste on here, but it also it incorporates the idea of speedrunning into the game itself, because there is a speedrunner mode where and all it does is turn a timer on for you. And that's it. That's all it does. I mean, you turn it on, you get a timer turned on in the screen for you that allows you to monitor how fast you're going without using any kind of third-party software like you have to do for most games. So it is really interesting when a game institutes speedrunning as one of its core mechanics. Like it's actually incorporated into the gameplay itself, as opposed to just, we'll go and get this third party. What is it? Split, I think, is the name of it. It's one of those. It's one of those timer deals. It's like, we'll have to go and download this and control the timers manually and all that. No, it's like whenever they institute that into it directly, that's really cool. I kind of wish I would see. I would like to see it instituted, maybe like updates of other games. Like maybe like a Cuphead update later allows you to keep track of all of your times on individual levels, your cumulative time of start to finish, stuff like that. I think that would be really cool.
I think there's like a dilemma between that and like in the speedrunning community, because there's two types of categories in speedrunning, which is like in-game time and then real time.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes the game itself doesn't like record time as accurate as real time, so that's why like most like speedrunning communities adopt real time now. Back in the day it used to be like in-game time, but yeah, it's a very weird technical thing to get into. And I watch like a lot of summoning Salt, I think that's what that dude's name is, Summoning Salt, like that goes in depth about like old speedruns that has to do with real time and in-game timing and all that. It's I'm a step back, but like, yeah. I'm going way too in depth, man.
It's a fun topic, though. I mean, it's an interesting topic because of how easy it is to dive off into, because like you said, they build entire communities around just this idea of speedrunning. And so it's a really interesting topic, because you got to think, like with speedrunning, they found a way to institute competitive gameplay into single player games.
Yeah. And it's cool and it's crazy, like the stories, like seeing old games too, like being speedrun as well, and seeing like the history behind it, where it's just like, yo, this one dude from Japan like was speedrunning this game for like a couple years, but no one knows about it. And then the US scene's like all doing these speedruns and stuff, and then they thought they were getting the fast times, and then they found a forum in Japan where the guy's doing faster times than everyone else. They had to like, and it's like it's so competitive and so like on your edge, like you got to be on the edge of your seat just to see like other people speedrunning. I've seen speedruns of like Wii tennis and Wii golf. Like who does that? But it's just crazy, man. The speedrunning is like that competitive edge of like speedrunning is just like I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I highly recommend, and this will be my last discussion or my last thing on the speedrunning topic. But if anybody else is even intrigued by the idea of it, just go to YouTube and type in just like AGDQ, awesome games done quick, or just the GDQ scene in general, and you're going to see some really incredible stuff. And it's like, I mean, we're talking like you'll see people on edge of their seat, like it's a massive tournament of some kind where people are like, somebody clears like a certain hurdle that you have to be pinpoint precise to get through to manage to shave those seconds off your time. You'll see the crowd just getting into it, freaking out. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and also check out Summoning Salt or Apollo. They go like through history, in-depth history of like speedrunning and stuff, like of each game. Oh man, great videos.
I want to say I watched their video on the Pokemon Red and Blue speedruns and like the history of any percent, because there's like a glitch or something like that wasn't like game breaking, but it just made text appear instantly.
Well, and that's like remember the old, I mean, heck, even back in the Mario days, the original Super Mario Bros. You could do the thing in the level where you jump up over the deal and run all the way to the end. It will take you to a pipe that allows you to go to a different world.
Yeah.
Like speedrunning's it feels like speedrunning's almost always been there to some degree.
Yeah, but like now it's like it's a big like community now, especially like that suit. I don't know why, like that sparked like a memory of like Super Mario Bros. And like the person who like got the world record and stuff. Just seeing like how they even like achieve like a sub 4 minute or sub 4:59 on Super Mario Bros. And it's like you had to take like 16,000 attempts just to get to that point. And it's like whoa. But like you're getting like sub 4:59 or like sub 4:58, just like yo, let's go. It's just, man, just watching like speedrunners on Twitch is like amazing, man. Amazing. I love it.
I think we'll need to do like an actual conversation about speedrunning and how to get into it, and how like all the best ways to clock yourself and everything else.
TNT and bonus episodes coming soon, I'm telling
you. So with that, I think we should take a quick break and then get into all of our news topics. Does that sound okay to you guys?
Sounds good to me.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we will be back in 2 minutes. Make sure you enjoy the music by one Mr. LouMurk during the break. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Lou, put your thumb
All right,
up.
guys, we're back. Oh,
What's
hold
going
on.
Oh.
No, okay, he blinked. He's not a recording. All right. It is kind of distracting.
I'm also noticing the green around his cam box is like constantly registered as if sound is coming through, but I'm not hearing anything.
I don't know if he's fucking with us or not. Okay, so we're just gonna go into the next story, which is Metacritic waiting period. So Metacritic is an aggregator of reviews. I think a lot of people already know this. They instituted a 36-hour rule for users to post their own reviews. We recently, in a quote here, we recently implemented the 36-hour waiting period for all user reviews in our games section to ensure our gamers have time to play these games before writing their reviews. This new waiting period for user reviews has rolled out across Metacritic's game section and was based on data-driven research and with input of critics and industry experts. Yes?
Did you go mute, Danny?
No.
I could hear him.
Check 1 2.
Hello?
Lou, you there?
Yeah.
The sheer chaos that we have invited on the show.
He warned you.
He did.
Oh my lord.
Okay, so yeah, Metacritic as of late, games have really drawn a lot of ire there. It's a place where places get meta bombed. Quite often, most notably, Last of Us Part 2 and Warcraft 3 Reforged are prime examples. Now, Last of Us Part 2, Last of Us Part 2 kind of undeservedly, I don't think it deserved the amount of hate that it got. Warcraft 3 Reforged, that's a little bit more debatable. I think that one was sold on a lot of lies, and it makes sense that it got meta bombed to existence. Not that I'm saying it's right, I'm just saying it's understandable, and it is a tactic that definitely is employed. I honestly don't have much more to say on this move. I think it's a good move. I think definitely people should have to wait a little bit to actually play the fucking games in order to review them. In terms of, I'm curious to see if if it's going to also affect outlets and known game reviewers, if they're gonna have to be like verified by Metacritic before they put their reviews in on Metacritic. And I'm also really curious to see how scores are going to be affected over time, because I don't have a lot of faith in a lot of these major outlets to really put out honest reviews a lot. I think there's financial incentives for them not to. So we'll see how that affects scores over time too. If those initial scores are like super high and then like those 36 hours are up and everything just tanks because the game is absolute shit, that's going to be very interesting. But yeah, Rev, what do you think?
I think it's a great move. I think there could be some kind of potential for, like you said, like almost like a press team, like people who are verified allowed to be able to give early reviews because it's guaranteed that they played it early. But yeah, no, I mean, you said it, it's plain and simple. Like what they did to The Last of Us 2 was shit. Like the people who did that was horrible. There was no reason for that. Just because of a few things that got leaked here and there, because you were pissed off at Ubisoft, doesn't mean you should go in and just trash the game.
You mean Naughty Dog?
Merit or Naughty Dog? Yeah. But I don't know why I said Ubisoft, but maybe because I already hate them. But yeah. I mean, like you should not be able to go in and just dump all over a game just because you don't agree with some of the practices that the higher ups did, or because you don't like the direction that the game was heading out of a few leaks. No, you shouldn't. That shouldn't be allowable. Like in my opinion, that delegitimizes Metacritic as a valid source for game reviews. I don't see it. Like they need to separate the actual like gameplay journalist type people from the user reviews, because user reviews people typically take with a grain of salt anyways, because they know that people are just going to dump all over it for some small reason. It's a horrible practice. They need to institute this. I think it's a great move.
Yeah, and then I'm going to answer a question that was just posted in the chat. You say you don't trust those outlets, and this is our good friend Elliot, by the way. Go check out his podcast, Tessa and Elliot Argue. He's also on the Budget Arcade. You say that you don't trust those outlets. Me too, but do you trust gamers more? Last of Us 2 is a great example. Honestly, I don't trust either of them, really.
I think honestly, in the end, it should just come down to, if you want to play the game, play the game. Yeah. If somebody else's opinion of the game is going to influence your playing it or not, don't play it.
Yeah. I think overall checking out checking out review scores or scores and reviews is valuable in determining if you're going to want to play a game. I think the best way to check out and see a game is look up raw gameplay footage. Like 100%. Like go to YouTube and just look up gameplay footage. It's going to be the best way for you to be able to check it out. Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, I also feel like you can check out your favorite streamer on twitch.tv/whatever. I don't know who's streaming those games, but check out Twitch. Like, just like music reviews with, like, I check out Anthony Nintendo for his reviews. I respect his views. So it's just like, if you have a YouTuber that you respect, you can like take their like recommendation by, go ahead and check them. I don't think Critic is the place to figure out like, oh, is the best game, because it just combines everybody's reviews into one score, and it's just.
I can agree with that. If you have your own trusted source, then go to that person. Yeah. Instead of trusting a bunch of strangers, go to somebody that you know and get their opinion on it. And if you're gonna wait a couple of days, then I mean, wait a couple of days for somebody that you know that went out and got the game firsthand. Like for instance, our friend Viva Pinata was on the show a few weeks ago. He's talked about The Last of Us 2 significantly. He didn't let the reviews deter him from playing it, and then he formed his own honest opinion on it. And that I trust Viva. Me and Viva have similar tastes, so it's like I could trust him. If I had a PlayStation 4, I might play the game.
Yeah, and I feel like Metacritic is gonna play more and more into a lot of people's decisions now, because games are getting more expensive. Because last podcast you talked about like the game prices getting higher, so like if games are more expensive, less people are gonna buy. They're gonna go to a trust source. They're just gonna go to Metacritic. But at the same time, though, just figure out who has a similar taste and then go off of that. I mean, my favorite game's been viewed bombed. Is that like a 6? Like my favorite game of all time, Skate 1, best game ever. But yeah, you can't really go by critic and stuff. You can just form your ideas or someone else who has like similar taste.
Yeah. Being a primarily PC player, I actually don't even use Metacritic all that often. For me, I actually use the Steam reviews way more often, and I usually check out the most recent reviews. Those are the ones I usually look at the most, because especially now with games as a live service and hot fixes and patches and whatever else, they're more likely to be accurate to that time. And so if a game has really negative reviews in their most recent, like if it's mostly mixed and like the most recent ones are really negative, I'm gonna probably not buy a game that has that kind of thing going on in its reviews. If it's mixed reviews and most recent in the most recent reviews are all positive, that's usually where I check it out. And I really appreciate that tool from Valve that they put out there with the most recent reviews.
And another thing that you can also look at is the idea of looking at the reviews themselves, like the actual like individual reviews. Because if somebody just goes in there and says something super crappy about the game, you'll know that they didn't actually put any thought into it. They just wanted to bomb the game. But if you go in and look at, say a favorable review, and it's like in depth saying exactly why they like the game, this, that, this, then you know that they probably spent more time actually analyzing the game itself.
Yeah, but would you not take a review that just draws a peanut on the Steam reviews like as like the Bible? Like, wouldn't you just consider that like as true?
Well, typically I would, given the nature of just me in general. But if it's a negative review and it's just a drawing of a penis, then no.
But what about if it's a small penis on reviews? It's bad. If it's a big penis, it's good.
I can accept that. That. That's like the one sole exception to the rule, I believe. Yeah, if that's how you grade your games, yeah, I think you've probably got a pretty good line of sight on what you feel is valuable and not within gameplay footage.
There we go. That's how I base all my purchases. If it has a big penis on there, I buy it. So
the funny thing is, all this sounds like a joke, but I've seen this. I've actually seen people do this. So I'm like, I'm actually rolling with this because I've seen it. Yeah.
I mean, you got to take a lot of time and effort to draw a penis on a review. So
yeah, out of nothing but text characters. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Look, if you're gonna take the time to do 8 $! Capital D, that's someone I'm willing to trust.
Well, I'm talking about like people that use like the arcs and stuff and draw like the big in-depth pages, the copy paste ones.
Like the dicks and like the dicks and the center dicks, you know, where it's just like different ways of dicks, you know.
Yeah, because if you see one that's like this, you know, like they're telling you that it's like a roller coaster ride of a game. Like, and like the longer the roller coaster is, obviously, the better.
Yeah,
it's. I swear, this all sounds like one massive joke, but I've seen it actually happen.
I'm just imagining like the audio list is just like, why are you talking about penises now? We're just like, hey, you know, you just we take our review serious on Magic and Steam. If it's a penis, we're not buying the game.
You've got to take all reviews. We're talking about reviews. You got to take all review methods into account here. You know, I mean, if it's just a single 8 and a capital D, don't buy the game.
Exactly.
Don't even bother.
I want details of my penises, all right? If it's not, I want to see how many dicks out of 10 is, all right? If it's an 8 out of 10 dicks, I'm gonna buy it. If it's not, I can't trust it. Can't.
As a matter of fact, I may just start leaving reviews like that because it's easier.
You know, I just want to mention that this conversation has gone on about as long as our Joy-Con conversation last week.
Oh, Joy-Cons. Gotta love them.
Yeah, which I'm going to use as our segue into the Nintendo Mini Direct.
Touche, sir. You know, that was... Okay, hold on. Applause for that one. That was a great segue, bro.
You know, I try. Green, do we have you back?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I figured out what it was. For some reason, somehow, magically, I muted my PC on the PC side, and it wasn't showing it. It was like gone. Like it was showing like the volume moving and stuff like that, but like I couldn't hear shit.
That's just what happens when we invite an agent of chaos like LouMurk onto the show.
Absolutely. I was so fucking confused. I'm like, what is going on here? And then all of a sudden I pop in, blow my eardrums out because I had the volume up to 100. And all of a sudden I hear it's at the top of the top volume, dicks. Like, oh yeah.
Penis.
Exactly.
So we have Nintendo Mini Direct, which I saw people were complaining that this was too short. What do you guys, I mean, what do these people think mini means? Like, what? What? And it's not like Nintendo doesn't do like 2 of these a month either.
To kind of keep with a little bit of the format, the same people that are complaining about the length of a mini are the same people that think that this is 6 inches. It's the same people. They don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, like Nintendo usually does like lengthy directs. I feel like they don't have the resource now, and so just gonna do mini directs here and there. They ordered a direct last month with Smash. They're already gonna do a direct next. They're gonna do a direct in September in order to like wean ourselves into the holiday month. I feel like a whole lot of shit in the gaming industry is really fucked up right now because of coronavirus. Like, how are we gonna get our games? How are we gonna like stop in the Christmas time? I think a lot of companies are like right now, just trying to pivot themselves in order to have the best positioning for the winter. So whatever Nintendo does. They already showed off a game that was like premiered during the launch of the Switch. It's like Shin Megami Tensei 5. I'm hyped about that.
Yeah,
but...
I got the whole list of the stuff that they showed off. I can go over that quick.
All right.
Yeah, so they showed off Cadence of Hyrule DLC, which we did a review, or you can actually hear a review of Cadence of Hyrule from a year ago when we had Homik Smash on the show. I mean, like the week, like a year ago. You guys can check that out. They showed off some stuff for Hi-Rez's Rogue Company, which is going to be free to play and cross-platform on the Switch. They showed off WWE 2K Battlegrounds. And then, like you mentioned, they showed off Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne and Shin Megami Tensei V. Which, I mean, that's all pretty interesting stuff. Like the Cadence of Hyrule DLC, they just showed off some characters, some new soundtrack stuff. Rogue Company has my attention. I'm gonna probably check it out. I'm gonna definitely be looking at that pretty hard. WWE 2K Battlegrounds is kind of I'm not a WWE fan, so it's not something I'll probably look into. Have you, Lou, played Shin Megami Tensei or any of the games in Shin Megami Tensei?
Nope, but I'm excited.
Well, I know they're kind of cult classic games. They had for a while kind of the same reputation as Persona, where they're like these really popular in Japan RPGs, not like a ton of popularity here in the United States, except for like a really core group of fans, and they kind of just spread. It's kind of like Neon Genesis Evangelion. They just kind of converted a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, what else do you guys, Rev? What do you think of the direct here?
Honestly, I didn't look too much into it because since I don't really have a Nintendo game, I will tell you this right now that WWE 2K Battlegrounds looks like such a dumpster fire, which is par for the course for those games at this point. Because Battlegrounds, if I remember correctly, is like the kind of cartoony one that you could like throw your opponents into alligators and crap. But like if the recent 2K WWE games are anything to go off of, they are absolute dumpster fire in a sense that, like, technically speaking, they are not good. Like there's a lot of glitches for a game that should be a lot better, especially for the price tag. But I mean, hell, we got into that conversation about 2K once already, you know. So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, the Megami Tensei series in general is pretty cool. I have played those in the past because if you actually look, the very first Megami where'd Green go?
Yeah, I have no idea. Where did Green go?
Oh, thank Green go. Sorry. The Megami Tensei series in general actually originated all the way back in '87. So this is like a franchise that just has a lot of history, which I mean I'd be interested in. But again, I don't own the system, so I don't own any kind of Nintendo systems of my own, and I'm not going to go snipe my kids so I could play, you know, Shin Megami Tensei 5. But I mean, I would say of all the ones that I did see, that one caught my attention the most, if I had to pick one.
Yeah. Green, how about you? Was there any game in that list that tickled your fancy? If you had to switch?
If I had a Switch, I'd maybe Cadence, maybe. Like I'm always down to like try some new games. But like, I mean, I'd have to agree with Rev on the whole dumpster fire with WWE. So that definitely didn't hit me in any way. So
I don't think anybody from like anybody that watched that direct was like, yeah, let's get WWE. Like,
if they could remaster like, what was it, NWO versus
WCW versus NWO.
Yeah, and then
Back on
the
N64.
SmackDown versus Raw. Yeah, the N64 games. They could remaster those.
The THQ games were legit back in the day. Like SmackDown 2, Know Your Role.
Mm-hmm. Those games, if they could remaster those instead of making these like newer games that never like pan out.
Here's the problem with them. We're gonna just, I mean, this is gonna be a very brief tangent into just WWE games in general off of this, but they're taking the approach of trying to turn them into sports games. Here's the thing: everybody knows that pro wrestling is sports entertainment. It is choreographed. The storylines are predetermined. You will never hear me use the word fake because I have a friend that is a pro wrestler, and that will get you fucking hit. And that I can guarantee you is not fake, because it happened to me and it hurt. Regardless, though,
it's real to me, damn it.
It's real to me, damn it. They're trying too hard to take it too seriously, which they've done in recent memory with WWE as a brand. They have tried to make it more sports centric. And I think it was because they were going for a deal on ESPN, but they got the deal with Fox instead. And Fox has tried to make them kind of come back, especially they've been able to express a lot more. I don't watch it a ton, but I keep up now. They've been able to kind of express that outlandish creative freedom again with like the coronavirus. They're able to do what are called cinematic matches where they film this almost like a movie beforehand, edit it together and air it as the match, which is really cool. It's super fun. And that's what wrestling was supposed to be. You know, it wasn't supposed to be taken as this like super real thing. It was like theater. It was literally, if you ask me, 100%, it's theater. That's all it is. And to try to take it too seriously to the point where you try to make your games actual sports games was the wrong direction. They were supposed to be more fun and cartoony and stuff, and they went away from that. And you got a lot of that in those older games like WCW versus NWO and SmackDown Know Your Role, you know, stuff like that. So they need to knock the shit off, go back to what was good, and stop treating it as if it's a real sport, because nobody even looks at it that way. Even the performers don't look at it that way. They look at it as theater. Treat it as theater. Make it fun again. Make wrestling great again. Wait.
Hashtag make wrestling great again. What would that make?
Mawa.
Mawa. Mawa.
We'll just call it like Mowgli, because it's like NWGA, you know. But no, so another little tiny brief tangent. There actually was a guy that as soon as the Make America Great Again thing happened, he became like a total heel in pro wrestling with the Make Wrestling Great Again thing. Had hats, had flags, everything that he carried with him, and God, everyone hated him because his character was such a dick. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't have a Switch, so this wasn't like anything major for me. The only thing was, you know, did they make Joy-Cons that I could shove up my ass?
Without fucking drift problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
I hopefully.
I don't want my Joy-Con to drift until I fart, okay?
Yeah,
until something moves that joystick, it shouldn't move.
Tweak some internals, you know, they can put some new seals on there.
You,
shit like
you could
that.
have used a different word than internals, bro. We're talking about putting stuff in our butts.
No. I meant every word.
Heed them words, man.
I'm sorry for doing this for 2 times in a week.
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Somebody clip this and send it to Ren.
Please.
Ren's just gonna send us a picture of his empty chair.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. I want to see what our next topic is real quick. Does anyone else have anything they want to mention on the Nintendo Mini Direct?
Oh yeah, you guys missed out on one tidbit. And there was like one game from there, from the Switch. God damn it, I forgot, because that was so short and no one really cared. So.
Oh, while you're looking at your next topic, I was supposed to do this at the beginning of my reviews, but breaking news from today: Rocket League is going free to play. We'll come back with more details on it next week, but soon Rocket League is going to free play.
Yes. What? So, I was just looking at our next topic. I can change this if we want to. We want to go for the heavy topic, or do we want to go for the tech topic?
Let's go. Oh, let's just get heavy, dude. Let's get it out the way. Let's go.
All right.
Getting heavy.
Ubisoft sucks. The executives at Ubisoft are douchebags. Actually, no, that's not a strong enough word. They are human garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say this, and this is going to be like I want to spend more time on this, but I'm going to kind of say my piece right now. If even 1% of what is alleged to have happened at the Ubisoft offices is true, even 1%, that is horrifying.
That's
horrifying.
Too much.
That's exactly. Yeah, absolutely horrifying. A disgrace. Absolutely disgusting. And I will actually consider not purchasing Ubisoft games in the future. That's only and that's only if 1% of what was said is true. And I do regret not. I mean, I had seen stuff last week before we talked about the Ubisoft Forward, and I regret not mentioning it. And this is a topic that we will have a larger conversation on in the future, because it deserves a larger conversation, and it deserves, I think, anyone who's going to be involved in that conversation time to think about stories. I'm sorry, I did not mention. So because someone mentioned it in the chat, Ubisoft, the executives at Ubisoft, there's a lot of people who have been forced to resign. There's a lot of stories and allegations of not only verbal and emotional abuse and mental abuse, but also sexual abuse, sexual harassment, assault, blatant homophobia, blatant racism at every level of Ubisoft. And some of the people being like the main creative force behind Ubisoft. So that's my piece on it. I want to take more time. It is a conversation I think that deserves people to, it obviously deserves to be out there. 100% people need to speak about it, but I think anyone who's going to be involved in that conversation really needs to have their thoughts laid out. They need to know facts. And they need to be prepared for it's a heavy topic.
I feel like it would be a good idea to get a conversation going on this with people of different backgrounds. I mean, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. We're all just like for relatively like close to age. Fuck y'all and y'all being younger, but guys, right? Like, I feel like this is a conversation that we could get people of different backgrounds in. I think it would be a good conversation to have with other people involved.
Yeah,
different perspectives. Type, like Little Dicky said, different background, different way of looking at things than your typical applicant.
Yeah. Lou, I'll let you get some thoughts out there.
So February, I went to Ubisoft Toronto for a Black Summit for traversing the space of video games as a person of color, and it was very insightful. What was troubling was that they talked about inclusion and all that stuff. One of the people that was head of that initiative also got outed as one of those Ubisoft staffers that was abusing their roles, sexual assault, all that stuff. And that was like done, I think, near like early June. I feel like a lot of people in the Black community that had to do with video games was kind of distraught about that stuff. And then from there, it was a flood. It was like a floodgate of like more allegations, and then just spread throughout the whole like Ubisoft, just the whole company, and just finding out like how blatant, like racist, sexist, assault happening. It's sickening, and like it's not even like it has no place in video games, like no place at all. Like the video games are there to like, it's supposed to be a safe space for a lot of people, and for people to abuse that and kind of like spit in the face of like our pastime and making it like into something where like they're taking advantage of people in order to like, I don't know, man, it's just all fucked up, and I hate that it even happened, man. I don't even want to like, I don't want to support Ubisoft. And like on Twitter, I talked to a Ubisoft employee that was like, "Oh man, this is all terrible, but our jobs, man. How come we have to suffer in order because everybody else is?" And it's like, this is a systemic problem that's happening in the workplace, and it has no. There was one part in the article where they were talking about HR departments that were like trying to hide this, and it was like, what the fuck is happening at this company? Like,
was that the Jason Schreier article? Yeah. Well, it's one thing when you're talking about like about the HR departments. I think Jim Sterling had a really good and apt description of what was happening. It was like the Vatican moving pedophile priest around the fucking country or around the world. They just moved these executives to different teams in different departments.
As an HR personnel, that's not how it fucking works.
Yeah.
You let them fucking go. You don't sit there, we're just gonna remove them from the problem and move them, 3,000 miles away to this other location where he could fucking sexually harass someone there. No, that's not how it fucking works. Get rid of his ass. No, that is a lawsuit waiting to happen. You shouldn't even let yourself be available for that lawsuit. Like, the moment you know, fucking get rid of him.
It's a
Not
right
even
violation, you know.
Not even. Yeah.
And
Not
sorry
even,
to cut you off, Lou. I apologize for that. I just wanted to get that out
No,
there.
it's all good. There's also one part about someone giving them giving a victim a $200 gift card. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, get these predators out of here, man. Just burn the whole thing down. I don't care if it's Riot, Ubisoft, fucking Activision. Burn this shit all the way down. I just want to see all them predators out my face, you know. But yeah, Ubisoft, fuck off. I'm not buying anything from Ubisoft. I'm not purchasing, I'm not playing, I'm not doing anything with Ubisoft. Uplay is deleted. I'm not dealing with any of that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and this is gonna be one of those things. Like I said, it's a conversation that it deserves a lot. I mean, that it's a conversation that would almost take an entire episode. And people's stories deserve to be told and commented on in a honest and respectful way. So I can't think of anything else really for me to say. I guess we'll get some final thoughts and then we can move on to Tech Corner quick. Because it's not an easy conversation to have. It's not a conversation with a lot of easy answers, because there are Ubisoft team members who they are innocent in this, but how and there are people who maybe did not commit these atrocious behaviors, but they certainly didn't do anything to stop them. There is a bit of complicity that has to be addressed there as well. I'll kind of go around the horn here. We'll get some final thoughts and we can move on. I'll start with Lou.
Already. I mean, I can pass it. I already talked about this, but yeah, sounds like a video game version of Black Lives Matter. It's a Me Too movement, Ryder. It's not. Black Lives Matter is a different thing, and there's a whole lot of can of worms behind that as well. But yeah, go read up in your books. Go read up on I don't have any books on hands, but go read up on books. Go listen to some James Baldwin. Go listen to some Stacey Flowers. Go listen to some people that'll talk about this stuff. And yeah.
Then we'll go to Padre.
This kind of goes to Danny's point of people being complicit and sitting still and not like knowing that these things were happening and doing nothing about it. There's a quote from one of my favorite movies, Boondock Saints, where the pastor says that we must all fear evil men, but the one thing we must fear more is the indifference of good men, which obviously generalized term, but the idea that it's just as bad if you know that it's happening and choose not to stand for those that are being oppressed on these issues, regardless of what what this oppression is based in. If you have a sliver of decency in your being, you will stand up for these people when they don't seem to have the voice to be able to do so on their own. We need people to fight alongside these people, anybody who is facing these issues, because sometimes without that backing, they're scared because they'll be discredited. And what's the point if you're going to be discredited? What's the point in speaking up and speaking out if nobody's going to believe you anyway? So you need people to stand up with you. So moving forward, if people aren't going to stand up for these people and they knew it was happening and chose to do nothing, fuck them too. They need to be out.
Exactly.
All right, Green.
So my biggest thing would be aimed to the human resources of not even just Ubisoft in general, but all these other companies. Every company you shouldn't be looking at any of these issues as how it's going to affect our revenue or our public image or anything like that. If it comes to money or image or anything, it should all come down to the way they handle it by doing the right thing. They have to do the right thing. It doesn't matter if it costs you the whole company. It doesn't matter if you have to declare bankruptcy. If you're not doing the right thing, it means nothing. Like everything that every decision you've ever made leads up to that one point where this person has been sexually harassing someone or has been racist. They can't be like, oh, well, we don't want to get this out. Something has to be done. You can't brush it under the rug because that just invalidates everything that's ever happened with that company. Do the right thing. Nothing less, nothing more. Do the right fucking thing.
Yeah, because I mean, one last thing for me on that point. You talk about how a lot of them will step aside on the idea that well, we can't let this get out because it could damage our reputation. Doing the right thing may cost you a little bit early, by these things being outed, and you're in an active pursuit to cleaning it up. But do you know how much it's going to cost you when it comes out that you've been allowing this shit to happen and you did nothing? Like, that's a gamble that I would even think that most savvy businessman wouldn't want to take, especially with as easily as everything is documented nowadays.
Yeah.
So do the right thing. In the end, it's going to do a lot more for you and I mean, even look at it from a shrewd businessman perspective. It's going to do a lot more for you on the business end too. Let alone the idea that you're doing right by people. You'll do better for your business doing the right thing.
My philosophy is they shouldn't look at it from a money standpoint. They should be looking at it from, this is someone's fucking life. This is the way that they operate every day. And, so there's people who can't get past it, which is unfortunate. Something happens to them and they're gone. You know what I mean? Like, and that all could have been prevented because they stepped in.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do something. Don't sit idly by. Do it.
Yeah. Just don't. Yeah, exactly. Don't add to the plight of people. Don't add trauma to the plight of people that are going through traumatic problems. And yeah.
Yeah. So this is a conversation that it deserves way more than this. It deserves us to have a really, broad, long conversation, and we can dig into the nuances and stuff. But I figure we'll move on to some tech news that we have here. We'll go on to Green's Tech Corner. We got some tech news, so I'm going to let Green Elite, our resident tech expert, go through it all.
Whoa, calm down there with the whole tech expert.
I said our resident tech expert.
I'm no Linus. Danny K. So merchandise store.com. So, so we got a little bit of a tech corner going on today. We had some news about Intel starting the testing for their new 11th gen CPUs, which are dubbed Rocket Lake. Super fancy. It's currently unknown, and there's like no leaks that have surfaced about what's actually new or what improvements there are with the next gen CPU. That is not something they're going to release while they're benchmarking it. So we'll probably see within the next, I would say, maybe 5 months, like at least some pretty credible leaks. Like some actual known leakers that are legitimate and have some clout with them to actually know for sure what's going on. So that's one of the big ones. And then DDR5 is now coming. So anyone in the PC building or PC enthusiast world knows all RAM has a designated genre or generation or version. Most common right now is the DDR4. That's the top of the market right now in terms of speed and newest generation. The GEDEC or JEDEC, I think is how they say it. It's just a Solid State Technology Association, which they're the people who are like, yeah, this is what the specs have to be, and everyone has to produce it within these specs, so that way everything is interchangeable, and everyone usually follows that. Usually, they have officially finalized the specs for the new DDR5, the new generation of DDR. DDR increases the capacity or gigabyte size, and also the speeds of like their megahertz by practically double, is what they're saying. Um, now, this doesn't mean to drop your current DDR4. DDR4 won't be available until probably, or I'm sorry, DDR5 won't be available until late 2021 ish, approximately, roughly. Which can be a good thing for people right now that aren't necessarily on DDR4 yet, because the DDR4 prices will actually drop down during that time that they release DDR5. This is like they call it the bubble, where it's not the newest generation, but it's also not a niche item yet, and that's when the best time to buy that product is. Before it gets like outrageously expensive, because people are like, oh, it's a classic. It's like a 79 Camaro
Before the scarcity really
rusted
sets
flat
in.
black. Yeah, exactly. So that's that. If you're, let's say you're still on DDR3, but you don't want to spend a buku amount of money to get like a top of the line Ryzen 7th gen, Intel 18th gen, DDR5 64 gigabyte thing, you can still settle for the DDR4, especially since the games that are going to be coming out within the next, I'd say, 5 years aren't going to utilize this as much as you would think. Like DDR4 will be fine. Even like when it becomes cheaper, you can even double up. Like let's say you're at 16 gigs now, you can double it up to 32, and you'll still perform at the lower rate of DDR5. So I wouldn't say jump on the bandwagon as soon as it drops out. But once everything stabilizes and it's more flexible, that's when you can like, oh yeah, I'll take the jump into DDR5. So that's really it for Tech Corner. Any questions like Intel, DDR5?
Okay.
CFD?
So on this new generation of Intel processors, tell me exactly why they're still going to be worse than AMD.
Probably because Intel doesn't like to innovate. It just depends.
I just got a real answer to a joke question. Are you serious?
Well, I'm going to answer it because I think it's hilarious. Intel likes to put a big price tag on something that they had the previous year, that they added like a few things to make it just a little bit faster than the previous generation. Like 10th gen was like a clock speed faster than the first or the previous generation, the 9th gen. So like, while they're still technically good, doesn't mean that they are a brand new generation good, like an extra $200 for a CPU. So I've got beef with Intel. So it's opinion based.
Did you just call Intel the Apple of processors?
Intel is the Apple of processors. You slap an Intel sticker on anything, it automatically shoots up to $500 extra.
That's
He
actually
ain't wrong.
Laptops, bam.
Because I actually told a friend of mine that Apple was the Intel of the phone world.
Exactly.
Wow. So let's just think about it this way. I mean, if Apple and Intel don't innovate all that often on anything, then how come Apple is going from Intel to their own proprietary processors?
Because they want more money.
Oh, I know. I'm just being really facetious. Yeah, I really hope people understand my sarcasm. No, I don't think anything is really going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing the price of DDR4 drop because I am looking to build a PC. When did you say this DDR5 is supposed to late 2021?
Yeah, I'd say like late 2021, early 2022. That's like fresh release.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say like within a year, you'll start seeing it like to where the market is like competitive and flexible to where you're going to see the prices actually come down on DDR5 to like a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
Is like if you buy something fresh off the line, brand new, it's always going to be buku expensive. But like if you give it, I would say that sweet spot's usually like 6 months to a year, roughly, especially with DDR. Like RAM in general, usually like brand new comes out within a year. Everyone's making it. Once you see like PNY making them, that's when you know, I can start probably buying into DDR5. But the issue with buying DDR5 is you had to buy a new motherboard that supports DDR5 because it will be a different pin. Every generation, the slot is ever so slightly different to accept it because they're different channels and shit like that.
That means better gaming, I guess, and better editing.
Yeah, definitely better. Definitely more for editing.
Yeah.
Until like I would say like the next generation of game engines comes out, like then I could see it making a difference. But yeah, like editing is where we'll kill it at because like especially if you have like a 12 core processor or a Threadripper 3264 core behemoth that costs $3,000. That's when you're gonna see like it's gonna turn and burn.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know whether to build a PC now or wait 2 years, but yeah, I'm excited.
It really just depends on what you plan on doing.
Yeah,
if you're just doing gaming, like I would say once these drop, I would build one with the current what's current right now.
Yeah,
because the price will be cheap, especially if COVID like clears out.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to scam one rapper out of doing a music video, and then I get that money for a brand new PC, baby. Hey, whatever rapper out here trying to get these music videos, I'll charge you $5,000 for it, and it'll take me a long time to do it, and it'll be mediocre, but at least I get that DDR5 money. Woo!
Will that be $5,000 Canadian or USD?
Oh, we charge USD, baby. We don't charge no puny Canadian. What do you want me to have? Funny money? Get out of here. I want blue backs. I want blue strips all over. You know, I swim and shower in American money. I don't play with no funny money.
You don't want to pay with your loonies and toonies there, eh? Maybe haggle over some DDR5 with some maple syrup.
Nah, fam. We don't mess with no Canadian money, you know. I'm trying to get buku. I'm trying to get bear guap, you know. So, them toonies and loonies, that's for Toonie Tuesdays, you know. I'm trying to get a KFC Toonie Tuesday on those days, but other than that, hey, we don't mess with toonies and loonies around here. The only buku guap around here, brown and blue strips, you know. Bro.
I would do the maple syrup thing, but I'm also a chunky boy.
I just hear Tim Horton, like the actual official language of Tim Horton in here.
Nah, that's Toronto. That's Toronto lingo. Tim Hortons. Hey. If anybody knows, if you're Canadian and you drink Tim Hortons, you're a waste. No one drinks Tim Hortons here. It's kind of like the worst coffee you can ever drink, worst donuts you can ever eat. Tim Hortons is like the worst.
It's kind of like Dunkin' Donuts around here.
Yeah, exactly. Dunkin's alright, but like Tim Hortons is just garbage. If you come to Canada, just do it. Just get the cup. Don't buy the coffee. I'm telling you, McDonald's has better coffee than Tim Hortons.
To be fair, McDonald's actually doesn't have bad coffee. Like they don't do too bad with theirs.
Yeah, I mean the reason why is because McDonald's bought Tim Hortons' old supplier. So
I've actually heard that before. I don't know if it was from you or not, but I do actually remember hearing that before.
So just real quick, let me do some as owner and proprietor of the Next to Nothing podcast. To any of our potential sponsors that might have been offended by our comments here, we will still take your sponsorship money. We won't recant what we said. We won't recant what we said, but we'll still take your money.
Hey, that was all my views, LouMurk. That was my views. That wasn't the views of Next to Nothing podcast. They are not responsible for any of the views I have on their podcast. I am legally speaking as not a lawyer, but I do know one. So,
Oh man,
That
see,
flex.
absolute
Flex.
the absolute flex.
I'm not a lawyer, but I fucking know one.
and shout out to him for getting me out of bids, because there was that one time when I almost got.
Did you intend to go mute there? Or did we actually lose Murk?
And then you know what? I almost did 5 years, so
Dig it. I dig it.
Okay, so that's Green's Tech Corner.
Yeah, that was my tech corner. Where we talk about PC parts and somehow Canada and maple syrup.
Somehow.
So it happens. It's a weird corner.
It's a very weird corner.
If you accidentally turn the wrong corner, wrong turn in Albuquerque kind of shit, you're gonna end up in the Greens corner, and it's gonna be maple syrup and PC parts.
And then the next corner, there's a little baby selling crack cocaine. So
Oh jeez.
Which we do not endorse.
No. You have to be at least 18 to start using drugs.
Exactly.
That's the official Next to Nothing stance on drug use. All right, so let's go on ahead and I'm gonna do a quick reminder for people. If you are interested in winning a game, we're going to draw the winner here in just a few minutes. So go on ahead and do !Opalaka in the chat here on Twitch if you're interested in winning a free game, and then also make sure that you guys answer the question of the week on YouTube if you want to get entered for a chance to win there as well, and that is, what game series have you stayed with the longest? Winner for that will be drawn at the beginning of next week's show. Again, we'll draw that winner for the live stream here in just a moment, but first, Mr. Lou, tell all the kind folks out there who you are, what you do, and where people can find it all.
Yo, my name LouMurk, aka Perk Cobain. Go check me out on SoundCloud, Perk Cobain, PERC_Cobain, like Kurt Cobain. We just hit 1,000 listeners on SoundCloud for the song Geriatric, where I rap about having sex with old women and my dick not working anymore and needing Viagra. I also do live streams. Check me out, LouMurk. I have Instagram, currently not active as much, but I'm trying to, and that's on LouMurk. I have a Twitter as well that's super active. I talk about my dick not working, having a small penis. I showed off my Travis Scott Jordan 1s on Twitter. Go check it out. I also have a clip coming through tonight, so go check that out. I stream 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1 a.m. every day from Monday to Saturday. You might be asking, why aren't you streaming today? Because I was on this podcast and I love it. Also, what do I have? Liveinfear.com, LIVENFEAR.com. Go check it out. I have merchandise. I have shirts going there. All products are going towards Black Lives Matter. So go purchase right there. $25, $50. Both merchandise, as well as, what do I got? I don't have an OnlyFans, but I'm trying to get one. And I don't have a special Snapchat, but I'm trying to do that with a special girl that's out there. I don't know her yet, but I'm trying to do it. So
all right, go check him out at all those places. Those all the links will be in the description of this episode as well. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or if you're watching on YouTube. Let's go ahead and draw our winner for the game. Remind the kind folks out there what they are playing for.
We're keeping with the theme of Darksiders. We're going with Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. Definitive. I said it right.
You got it this time.
Yeah. I'm a big boy now.
You are a big boy. All right, I'm going to go on ahead and roll it.
Roll it.
Congratulations, Ranger, on winning.
And that is for the Steam code, same as every week. So
Every week it's Steam.
Steam only for this place.
Yeah. Mr. Green Elite.
Yeah.
What's coming up on your channel?
I don't know.
Sweet.
I'm probably gonna be playing some more Warzone, and I'm trying to sneak in at least one stream of Destiny 2 because I fucking love that game so much. But like it's a back and forth thing. It's a really give and take relationship, you know? Like she takes all my time and all my money, and then, you know, I win nothing. So that's coming up. It's happening someday. So but you can find me on twitch.tv/Mr. Green Elite. Or you can catch me on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. What else do I have? I have the socials. All the socials. OnlyFans. Snapchat Premium.
Hot.
Pornhub.
Padre, what's coming up on your channel?
Well, that remains to be seen, depending on how the events of this upcoming Thursday, when the tech for my internet is supposed to come out for a third time to fix that. If that goes as planned, then I'm going to continue playing more random indie games that people have probably never heard of. I do actually have one on standby that I'm wanting to play. It's called Song for a Hero. I've talked about it before and how I've wanted to play it. I just haven't got to yet. That's the one that I'm wanting to do. Hopefully Saturday, if not Thursday night. Who knows? But you can find me any socials, RevSpin TV. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/RevSpin, or you can just go to revspin.tv to find links to all of my stuff, plus my new indie game blog, where every Monday I will be releasing a review of a new obscure indie title that people have not heard of. That's a thing now. Revspin.tv. Go there. Subscribe. You can make an account there. I can chat with you directly from there. All kinds of cool shit.
Hot. Guys, go check him out over there. Coming up on my channel, we're going to continue with Fallout New Vegas. I have a few more DLCs that I need to go through, and then we'll probably start making our way towards the end game of Fallout New Vegas. I just finished with Honest Hearts last week. I've really been enjoying Insurgency Sandstorm, so I'll be probably playing that. Other than that, there's a few other games I'll be checking out here. I have a plan to do not for broadcast on YouTube. So I'll be doing that, kind of releasing those videos out. Other than that, guys, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at DaniCaE, at DANIECAE. My brain is apparently melting at this exact moment in time, so I apologize for any stroke-like speech I'm having. I think that's all we got. So we appreciate all of you who watch and listen, and seriously, thank you guys so much for all the generosity and stuff you guys showed us last week. You guys absolutely killed it. I felt so incredibly loved last week just from the numbers. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you do comment on the question of the week and get yourself entered for a chance to win a free game. Let's see. I lost myself in the notes. Oh, support. If you guys want to help support the show, you guys can do it a couple ways. You guys can leave us a like and a rating and review on the platform of your choice. Also, telling your friends is the top tier way that you guys can help us out. We also have merch. The design ends on August 4th, so make sure you guys get your merch in as soon as you can. Otherwise, guys, until next week, stay safe, stay healthy, keep fighting the good fights, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
I love you.